Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. I am the Bardic Knock. I am the Game Master for today. You can find me on the internet, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube, all as the Bardic Knock. Today we are going to be playing some more Final Fantasy V6. This is a fan-made game system, so it is free to play. You can find it out there on the internet, and it does stuff, basically. I will give a recap of events of what we are currently doing in our adventure. After I let the other voices, who you will hear talk, say words that are to do with identifying who they are. This is normally where I throw a ball to a person directly below me, being ATB. Who are you?
Well, I don't know who I am because I forgot to renew my subscription, and so I am just watching an ad for some sort of new Amazon Prime video. So I guess I'm an Amazon Prime video now.
We are all Prime citizens.
Yeah, Hi, I am a tired guy. This is untired because I got very little sleep last night. And there's like no juice in the house that I can drink to make myself wake up more. I'm playing Lilith. A bit of Dark Knight. So, due to stuff that we got from last session, she's now has a sword. You don't know what that is, but you've played Fire Emblem. Just think of the Sword of the Creator, only somehow more edgy. Haven't thought of the specifics yet. Just give me.
The best thing about this game is there are no hard and fast, like, descriptive rules and set things. So, like, at the moment, it's just like an amorphous thing and will become defined when you want it to be defined.
Yeah, if this was like a comic book or a TV show, until we figure out the design, it's just a giant sensor bar.
It's just perpetually in silhouette until we figure it out. Alright. So that is ATB. Next up, we have Natch. Natch, who are you?
My name is Natural One. I am there on Twitter, and I'm playing Malcolm, the leather-clad red mage. And I have something to plug this week. I am playing in a charity stream on November 28th, called Fuck Cancer, Roll Dice. I need to find what channel it's actually on, but I'll figure that out. But I'm playing a game called Dream Askew, and I've never played it before, and it's super interesting. So, and it's going to be super gay, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay. Well, if you want to like find the channel for that,
I will.
I can totally plug that. Tell people to go check it out. So, Rain, who are you?
Hello, I am Rain Hayes. I make products on DM's Guild, and I have one coming up that's almost done. I also play on Tuesdays on Shay Foxy's channel, where we play the Orlight Codex Calgary, which is a homebrew system based on Fate. And my poor werewolf just had her entire backstory revealed, including to her, because she didn't remember any of it.
What is Shay Foxy's channel on Twitch? Because
Shay Foxy.
it's just SHEIFOXY.
It's that.
Yes, I did it right, because now I can do a magical thing. Yeah.
Oh?
I love my mom tinkering with chat bots. We now have a dad joke bot, so at any point in the Twitch chat, you can put exclamation joke, and it'll tell a terrible joke.
Oh, that's fun.
It's really good.
It's terrible.
So, alright. Natch, do you know the channel?
Yeah, the Twitch channel is FCRD 2020.
FCRD 2020.
Yeah, it looks like it'll only be live on the 27th and 28th. Maybe the 29th too.
Okay.
I think it's like 3 straight days of charity stream, so it'll be a good time.
Okay. Oh yeah, that makes sense. So fuck cancer, roll dice. Yeah. Right. Well, it's been shouted out, so there's a link to it in the chat. You can go check that out. All right. So, recap. We missed last time because of power outages and things like that. So it's been like a month. So let's see how much we can remember. Last time we spent about an hour and a half talking to an accountant. Then we sat on some temple steps, had a lovely picnic, got that good level of drunk where it's not messy, but it is inhibitions lowered just enough that it is appropriate to start sharing trauma and it not feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So there was that. There was some really nice bonding, and we interacted and bonded more with another summoner in Val and her guardian Hans, whom they are just delightful. And then as everything was building up, some poor person staggered into town who looked like they had been severely injured. Half of their body covered in burn marks, the other half covered in essentially frostbite and like ice. So that was not particularly pleasant. Then called for the accountant crew. That is the name that I remembered and didn't have to go and look up earlier. Who you came out and was like, hang on, let me get Crew's voice. It's somewhere like down here, I think. So Crew came out like, oh gosh, no, this is the local boss of Crusaders around this part. So I'll take care of them. And here you go. If you sign up, because we had a whole discussion. You're basically becoming sponsors for Crusaders. They have a really nice package. You're basically becoming like Crusader affiliates. Because it got terrifyingly meta there for a minute. And so you were gifted just a big old treasure chest that you opened up, and it happened to have exactly the thing in that you found the most interesting / useful for your character at that moment. So, let's talk about what we found. Let's start with Rain. What did Reno pick out of the treasure chest?
Reno got a nice set of leather and I'm going to say like brass or copper or something like that armor that she immediately modified to be Mithra appropriate. And it has the sleep proof property. So she can't be put to sleep.
That's actually really cool. And kind of on brand. I like that. I like that a lot. Natch, what did Malcolm pull out of the box?
Malcolm found what looks like just a whip handle that's kind of encrusted with all sorts of different gems. And then when he activated it the whip part of it, the snappy bit, activated and was like a beam of energy. So that's it's red. It's a red whip. And mechanically, it's a Gemini weapon, so now it is both reach and an arcane weapon.
Yeah, that's actually really cool, especially for you, Red Mage. You make use of things. It's all very, very good. And what did Lilith find in the box? It was like this. I want it.
After rummaging through, Lilith ended up finding this sword. I was like, I mean, this doesn't look all that interesting. Then there was like this just button that she ended up like pressing, and the sword suddenly just became a whip. Like, there was just this weird mechanism in the sword with the specific push of a button and then just a swing, suddenly the sword is just whipping through the air. And it may or may not have. And also this tree nearby just suddenly fell down. Right as she swung the sword for the first time. It was very weird. You can't prove that she accidentally knocked down a tree, but you know, she found a whip sword. I was like, huh, well, this fits my aesthetic. Pretty cool too. I'm gonna keep this.
Okay. Before I've got two things. I don't know if I should talk about the mechanical thing first. Or the other thing, which is just on my mind, how you describe that. I'll do the other thing first, and then I'll go into mechanics. I don't know if they ever made it to America, but there's like children's toys. I think primarily they're very Germanic and Scandinavian type children's toy. They're like little wooden statues that stand on little podiums, and they have a pressure button underneath, and if you press that, the statue, like, because it's got like a string or wire inside of it, you press that, and the statue kind of like flops over, and it'll like stand up, and they're usually in the shape of animals and things like that, so you can kind of like make the animal like move around and stuff. That is exactly how your thing sounds to me.
I have never heard of these things before, but that sounds cool.
I've seen them before.
Yeah, they're like a very folky children's toy. Like it's kind of like a very traditional thing. You normally find them a lot around Christmas time and stuff like that. But that is exactly how I just imagine it, because I used to have loads of them. I just collected them over the years as like stuff, like a stocking filler, stuff like that. So it's just in my mind, just this sword, like you hold it and it's button press and it's kind of like flops into a whip. And goes,
I mean, that's honestly how I sort of imagine that. That is how the sort of the creator in Fire Emblem works. Like, there must be, like, aside from, like, magic, you don't have to explain it. I feel like, well, mechanically, I feel like there must be some sort of mechanism that makes the sword go, time to be whip. And then you press it again, it's like, okay, time to be sword now.
Then the other thing, just off of your description, you were saying like how a tree just fell apart. Like, have you marked like both Gemini and Impact?
No, I was, for some reason, my mind just went like, imagine if, like, the first time, like, there's just this old tree on its last leg, and Lilith just accidentally just knocks it over.
Okay, cool. I was just double checking, because, like, you couldn't have both properties at the same time. Okay, cool.
I was going to say that some poor cabbage salesman, suddenly his like, he was just holding up one of his cabbages, and then it just got slashed.
My cabbages!
Idea.
Look, I am all for having a cabbage salesman be.
Okay.
Yeah, so
let's rewind then, so we don't have to mess with Aunt Cannon. While Lilith is just swinging her sword around, there's this cabbage salesman going about his life. Such a good life, selling cabbages. Sin hasn't attacked him yet. He's just holding up one of his prized cabbages that he named Cabby. And he's just talking to Cabby, and suddenly Cabby is just slashed in half.
yes, this is exactly what happened. Wonderful. All right. So you've all got your new stuff. Paperwork. You signed it. It's good. It'll get notarized and all sorted out. Well, now official Crusader affiliates, or whatever term we actually came up with last time. But you're that thing, like the Crusader representatives, partners, affiliate, whatever the appropriate word is. You are that. And you know that the did Raiko get a thing? Raiko should have got a thing. What thing should we give Raiko?
Put a property on Tauntaun.
Oh my god.
Give Tauntaun an accessory.
Okay, so if we give Tauntaun an accessory, but we give Tauntaun a property. Okay, how about this? We give Tauntaun the impact property, and it is literally just Tauntaun. Like, Raiko just finds like a small, like, finds like a small toy gun, and just gives it to Tauntaun. So Tauntaun, it swaps the little Tonberry knife for just like a gun.
You know those old like film noir detective movies that they had the snub nose revolver?
Yes.
I could see Tauntaun wielding that.
Tauntaun have a tiny hat too. Just to complete the picture, or is that asking too much?
No, I mean, Raiko has been working on
A bowler cap?
Yeah. Like, Raiko has been working on that in the background. They just like making little outfits for Tauntaun. So right now, they just so happen to be making a little hat, and now they've got the gun. So Tauntaun can now just destroy fucking walls.
And the first thing Tauntaun destroys is the tree.
Yeah. Alright. Awesome.
It's been restored.
So, you know that the leader of Crusaders had been exploring the besaid ruins, which are approximately down here. So you have you've got two choices of the path to get there. One is you go like through the mountains and like pass, like it's like through the mountains and like through some forest lands, like there's waterfalls and all that jazz. Or the other, you go and swim. There's probably not much difference. I suppose swimming would probably take a little bit longer. Actually, no. I just realized you would swim, but then you'd have to climb a cliff face because you dived off a cliff to get into the river.
So swimming would take longer.
So yeah, you'd have to swim and then climb a cliff face. If you take the path, you might come across like a few fiends that are just on the path.
You're really selling that path to me.
I don't know why, but I feel like the path is the way to go.
Twist my arm, why don't you?
Yeah, I'm good with the path.
All right, cool. So Val and Hans, they're like, okay, no, they're like, we're coming with you. This is a job too big for 4 people. You know, this Crusader leader, they're a big deal, and you know, look at how messed up they are. I think you need a full party of 6 here, or at least 2 parties of 3.
Heck yeah.
So Val and Hans will be accompanying you as you. I don't know how quickly, if you're running, if you're going at a leisurely stroll. How are you heading off?
I would say sort of like fast, but not too fast, so we don't get to the danger and we're all just tired and beaten out. Just being like, just hold on a bit, we need a break.
All right.
We need to catch our breaths. Oh no.
All right. So medium pace.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, you head out beside village. You go up the hill, and you like a little forking road. One leads you to a river, which you can swim down, and one takes you in a more forested area, going up through a mountain forest and head up a mountain. Start walking through the forest. As you start walking through, it's basically a forest growing out of a mountainside. So it's just like trees and overgrowth. It's got a very like tropical vibe and aesthetic to it. And one thing you do notice, mainly because it is incredibly friggin' obvious, is there seem to be very anachronistic, or they look very much unlike anything you've ever really come across. These structures, these leftover ruins that seem weird and alien and futuristic, just there. You know, they're like built into the side of the mountain, and they like hang and they're crumbling and falling apart. And these look In some ways, they actually look not too dissimilar to some of the types of buildings you saw in your Zanuck and Dream sequence.
Hmm. Hmm.
So they're just like buildings. Are they like?
They're not so much buildings. They're kind of like large cylindrical towers that seem to like be built into the side of a mountain, and they seem to have like connecting pathways across them here and there. They look very clearly dilapidated, but they exist, as if to suggest there was a society here before that has long since gone. But is anybody particularly interested in looking at these or researching or doing anything with them while he's like, huh? So
Well, I'm gonna.
I mean,
research.
I can roll lore everything.
That's
yes, you
true.
can. Okay, so do you wanna do that?
I got a 10.
Okay, 10. Oh gosh, I've forgotten what the numbers mean.
I don't really have anything that I could roll aside from inquiry,
Inquiry
which I don't
would
think
work.
would help.
Okay. Where's the list of that? Right, let me just double check if inquiry would. I want to say it would, but that sounds appropriate. I could be. Dig up
We are
information.
inquiring as to the nature.
Yeah, inquiry. That doesn't mean like you have to ask people. Like you can use inquiry to read a book, so you can 100% use inquiry.
Sort of be like, have I ever encountered this in a book or something?
Yeah. Okay, so a 10 falls right between moderate and challenging. So yeah, it's a moderate success. So with your knowledge, everything, 8 for the inquiry is easy, and I believe got 7. So we'll start at the bottom and work up. Was Reno rolling inquiry or something else?
Inquiry, yeah.
Yeah. So for Reno's inquiry, look at the thing, try to know what it is. Reno kind of looks and goes, "Well, okay, these are clearly not. People in my village didn't build these. No one who ever lived in that village built this. This is highly advanced. You can see there's like very intricate electronics and computer type systems embedded into them. The computer systems are clearly defunct, broken, and don't work. But you can see like a computer monitor and stuff. And it's like this was advanced. This is like high level. However, you would not know how to do anything with it. You wouldn't know like you might know somebody who could in the future, maybe, but this, no clue. Similarly for Lilith, same kind of vibe, although Lilith, one thing that immediately stands out to you, and this is specifically for you, you've seen things like this before. You've seen things like this entirely because of your heritage, because of where you have grown up, because of your family. The Al Bhed they've always collected and used things like this, so seeing these ancient technologies existing is not that strange to you. It's strange to find them all the way out here, but this is some kind of ancient machina, or it's part of ancient machina, and you find some scrollings, some notes, some carvings written in bed, and I'll tell you what they are momentarily. And because finally, have Malcolm with the knowledge everything with a moderate success, everything everybody else got, but you also kind of looking up. Okay, these are probably somehow tied to the ruins that were mentioned, as in this isn't ruins like just like a fallen down building. It's like, no, these are like ruins of an advanced society. And thing which seems to be quite common is anywhere that has like an abundance of machina draws in quite powerful fiends, because like sin is drawn to machina and therefore so are fiends. So you would know if we're going to go explore this stuff, there's going to be some really powerful fiends, probably keep an eye out, and maybe this Machina can be for something. Maybe that's why the fiends have all like started to pop up a bit more.
Mhm.
So someone might have been toying around with something. Who knows?
Wasn't me.
Not yet.
I haven't had a chance yet.
Okay. So then going back to Lilith, the scrolling in our bed, you find it's quite simple and broken. It's almost like someone scrolled it in like a little bit of a hurry, and it just has a series of numbers. It just says like 5792, and it then says Hilika, Besaid are one.
Could you repeat that? It was Ilika, Besaid, R1?
Yeah, and then the numbers, I believe I said 5792.
So... I feel like I misspelled Ilika, but...
As long as you know what it said, I think that's all you need to
Yeah.
know. Alright.
Yeah. I feel like, well, if we just repeat that to herself just a few times, just sort of be like, weird.
Sorry, it's not literally, you know, like the letter R and the number 1. It's R, a word, A-R-E, and 1.
Oh. I was sort of thinking like just sort of code talk. I was like, what the fuck does this mean?
Yeah, there we go. Alrighty. So, you're investigating these, you're looking around. Val and Hans and Riker, they're like, I think they're kind of like just looking at you all going, job? Well, you're all just looking at these things going, wow, what's this? Is anybody paying active attention to their surrounding?
Nope.
Could I... Do you mind if I try maybe rolling to see if Lilith would be paying attention? Because I feel like she would, but also reading.
Yeah, like if you wanna, you can roll. Like, this is not, remember, this is not like, haha, I got you. Like, I like to run a collaborative experience. If you want to say, oh yeah, I'm reading, but I'm paying active attention because that's what my character, that's cool. This isn't a, haha, I got you. So,
Okay.
you can do whatever you like.
I feel... Because... Oh no, I feel like she would also be paying attention, half attention, but also still reading. So...
So, roll
Brain.
me awareness, please.
Okay.
14. 14 is real good. Yeah. Lilith. In fact, 14 is an impressive. So an example of an impressive is to drive a motorbike across a collapsing bridge or to slip out of a pair of manacles. I don't know what the awareness equivalent of that is. So what I'm going to say is, Lilith, while you are reading, you see like a single leaf flutter out of place. You go like anime close up on the eyes. There's like the, and you look up and you can see in the tree like a small collection of fiends. You don't really see what they are. You just kind of see like an amorphous shape that seems to like undulate ever so slightly, and it doesn't look like it's about to attack, but it is certainly aware of your existence. It either looks like it was waiting to spring a trap, or for the right time to strike. So you've caught it before it can do that. You will not get a preemptive strike if you engage in combat, but you have stopped yourself from being ambushed.
Did she be able to warn group?
Well, yeah. Unless Lilith forgot how to talk.
I just didn't know if you were gonna be like, you see it right as it's about to oh no. I'm very tired.
With a very impressive awareness, you have seen it before it has thought about attack.
So yeah, Lilith just spots the fiend. Jen just turns to group and just gestures up where she saw it was like a company. And then immediately just stands up and just stands more straight. I don't know.
Okay.
Basically,
So,
she just goes to get her sword.
Yeah.
I'm very tired. I'm sorry.
So, with this,
No
we will initiate a combat. There is no such thing as initiative in this. It's not an ambush. You go first. A group of you go first. Who is enacting first? Lilith, you point out there are like 5 of these amorphous blob-shaped things in the tree. And they're all quite close together, if ready to just drop down on you.
Can I roll my lore to find information on fiends?
Yes, you most certainly can.
Because I have lore monster.
That is good.
12.
12 is that's not impressive. It's one below impressive, I think. Skills. Yeah, challenging. All right, so challenging is pretty good. All right, you get one look at these. You go. These are plans. They are highly resistant to physical attacks, but very weak to magic. And you can assume by looking at these seem to be ice flying. So they are particularly weak to fire magic.
I think I got that on lock if you want me to just hit them all with a fire spell.
I'll prep a goblin bomb. Suddenly there's fire everywhere.
Oh god.
Where is the spell list? Oh, come on. Oh, there it is. Okay. Alright. That's not what I want. Because it does different damage if you're attacking one person versus everybody. Okay. So it does power times 1. It'll do mind times 1, 2d6 fire damage to everybody. Okay.
So you preparing to cast that, and that will trigger at the start of your next turn.
No. I'm gonna use my new arcane weapon.
Ooh.
Which lets me do quick cast, which lets me cast it as a standard action.
Ooh. Okay. And that's once per combat, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so that's going to do power times 1. Although
it'll be mind for me.
Yep, because of your Kara's magic.
8.
Very
8 plus
nice.
2d6. It does 14 damage.
Okay, 14 damage, and bear in mind, these have a vulnerability to that, so that damage, I believe, is times by 1.5, or maybe it's by times 2. I need to double. Let me... Made notes. Like a scary rarity. Oh no. Oh, okay, yeah. That deals double damage because I really went in that they are super weak to this.
Mm-hmm.
So that is 28 damage
Yep.
to all 5 of these.
Mm-hmm.
That isn't an instant kill, but you know if you do that again, they're dead.
Right.
You can definitely see them going, ah, blah, 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 blah. You know, they've made horrible noise, and they drop out of the tree. But instead of being able to get their surprise attack, they've dropped out of a tree. They're spread out across the field. Are a little bit like, ah, blah, 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 blah. They're making, they might be amorphous blobs, but you can tell that they are struggling to hold even a vague form of a shape because that hurt, and they were surprised by it, and it wasn't pleasant.
Awesome.
There's a lot of angry blob noises.
That's a mood.
Okay.
Can you remind me the rule for a spell affecting more than one target?
It varies on spell to spell. So, for example, what that just was, if you find the spell list, it will say if it can attack single group, area, or local, or like each spell has a target descriptor. So, what spell specifically are you looking at?
I was just wondering if the Goblin Bomb could do that.
Goblin Bomb is only a single target.
Okay.
But I can tell you this right now. Goblin Bomb will one-shot any of them. That's power times 4.
Unless they're a lower level.
Let me just double check. Unless target's a lower level, in such situation, it would be power times 8. Okay, yeah, this will instantly kill any of them. So, enjoy that.
I'm just imagining now, like, I'm sorry for interrupting, just this epic music as these blobs are slowly closing in. Lilith is basically like, got company. Then all of a sudden the blobs are just sit on fire. Dead.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. Okay, so, Malcolm did his turn. Reno, Lilith, you still have your turns if you wish to do things.
I already used mine to prep the Goblin Bomb.
Oh yeah, so you're setting Goblin Bomb to trigger at the start of your next turn. Cool. Lilith, what would you like to do?
Would I be able to test out my new whip sword?
Yes,
Just
you
have it
would.
go into his... Okay. Basically, wherever the closest slime is, she's just going to activate the sword to turn into a weapon. Just the fuck's the word? Swing it at them. I'm sorry, I am so tired.
Out of curiosity, when this happens, does a Whip It Good by Devo start playing?
Yes.
From Tauntaun.
Yeah. Just whip it good. Whoosh! Just that comes out. Alright, roll accuracy.
Accuracy is... Okay, 2d6 plus 2. Aw.
5. Okay. I might need to check that. Accuracy is normally you need pretty low, but with a 1 and a 2, I don't think even terrible avoidance of. But you know what? We're getting the bad rolls out during unimportant combat. It's a good thing.
Yeah, these things are gonna be set on fire next turn anyway, so doesn't matter.
No.
This is a terrible introduction to my sword.
Okay, yeah. An accuracy of 3. Sorry, your accuracy is 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay, these things have an avoidance of 6. So that's how low you need to roll. Like so long as you don't roll this or a critical fail, you hit them. So there is literally
I know.
there's like a 3 in 36 chance of not hitting them. So
I can feel your disappointment from all the way in Canada.
Buy lottery tickets.
okay, 3 in 36 isn't that bad. That's what, 1 in 12. So it's not that bad. it's a little disheartening for sure. But like I said, we're getting the bad rolls out now. So you go to whip, and as you do so, what is your justification for not hitting? Like, what happens? Do you want the blob to just like go and it not hit? Or is Lilith distracted by something? Or does Lilith hit something else by mistake?
I'm gonna say, I let that bastard makes using a whip sword too easy. They're actually hard to wield because you're literally making a sword into a whip. That is hard to use. Reality ensues.
Okay.
Lilith can't exactly get the sword to go where she wants. It gets embedded in a tree.
Well, I just have a really funny one. We can embed it in a tree if you like, or the thing I find hilarious is I love the idea that you go, okay, you activate the whip mode, you swing the whip, and you go, and then as you swing, it turns into a sword, and you're nowhere near them, and you're swinging a sword. You go, damn. I'll get it next time. I'm figuring. So
Yeah,
you miss because you used the wrong weapon setting.
Yeah, totally. It's just like trying to get used to it.
Yeah.
Your persona ruined.
Okay, cool.
It's around, hopes nobody noticed that.
Raiko. What should Raiko do? Raiko is going to conserve MP, because you don't really have a good way to recover MP currently. So, okay, Raiko is just going to hold up Tauntaun. Just literally hold Tauntaun by the head. There's a little Tonberry plush holding a gun, and go. He's gonna go. Get him, Tauntaun! Get Tauntaun! Just do the thing. Tauntaun's little arms and legs, like, because Tauntaun's being held by his head, they just kind of move as if Tauntaun was walking on the ground. Then the gun comes up, and it just fires off like 6 rounds, just in quick succession.
Add a plushie.
I love Tauntaun so much.
Tauntaun's the best thing ever.
That is a 8 accuracy, and keep that. We'll keep that 7 on the dice. Oh no, it's 7 would be a 9. We'll keep that. It's arm damage. It doesn't deal loads, because these things have got quite high regular defense and not very high at magic. But yeah, Tauntaun kills one as that happens. So there is 1 dead. There are 4 remaining. Ooh, now I get to show off the new NPCs. Right. Who do you want to go first? Val or Hans?
Hans.
I vote Hans.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me find what Hans.
We just want to watch him bounce off lands.
Okay. So, Hans. To describe Hans again, in case anybody ever forgets how perfect and beautiful this specimen is. Big, beefy boy. Big, broad shoulders, rippling of muscles, giant, heavy gauntlets, a huge, ridiculous, over-the-top, not like Buster Sword sized, but like oversized greatsword, clearly designed for someone bigger than Hans, and Hans is big. No clothing on the upper body, just bare-chested. It's big, it's beautiful, and then kind of like he doesn't really have trousers either, just like big greaves, so big armored greaves, and kind of like I don't want a loincloth because that's a bit much. So maybe like what's what I'm looking for? It's not tapestry. It's like that. It's a tap of something. Like that very classic medieval knight.
Tabard.
Tabard. That's it. So like a tabard around the leg. So to be fair, it kind of looks a little bit like a skirt, and he makes it look good. Like it looks real good. So it's kind of like it's a, you know what? Fuck it. It's a battle skirt. It's a battle skirt on this big, beefy, beautiful man. And what he is gonna do? What is he going? Oh. Okay, I don't know if he should do his big thing, or if he should save that.
Maybe save it for a fight that would actually be. I don't know.
Okay, so that's so much of his stuff is literally once per session. And it's really frustrating because it's good stuff, and I want to show it off.
Roll a dice to see which one he uses.
Yeah, I might do. Okay, no, I think that can. That doesn't have a limit. Just reading, double checking. Nice. Alright, so. He draws out his giant sword, which he comfortably holds in a single hand. And he stands, puffs his chest out to somehow make it look even bigger, and points at one of the flanks. He goes, "Begone, vile creature of darkness and death and horribleness! I smite thee! But from over here. So, ha-ha!" And with that, his giant sword begins to glow. This beautiful white ethereal light, and as it does so, this ethereal light seems to take form, and it seems to extend out until it draws itself out entirely from the sword, creating a second sword made entirely out of magical light energy. That sword then flies across the field and hits the enemy for him.
Damn.
Trust Hans to use his sword as a projectile weapon.
Well, yeah, kind of. Okay, you will not friggin' believe this.
Did he crit?
Yeah! Double
Hell
sixes.
Yeah. Hell yeah!
So, how much damage did that actually do? No paladin. So when spirit weapon first summon, instantly lashes out one enemy with the attack whenever the paladin successfully can. Yeah. Okay, no. Okay, no. So it gets that first attack, and then from then on it attacks whenever he can. Alright, so he gets the first attack, so that's mind times half level plus 2d6. Yep. And another one of the things is dead. Is big dead. His magical sword just cut it in half. And Hans looks very proud of himself. He's very, very happy that he just... So, next, we have Val. Once again, to describe Val, for anybody forgot. Val is a beautiful woman, wears very, very revealing outfits, is dark-skinned. She has, like, really thick, curly hair that she is very proud of and keeps it very well maintained, and it looks beautiful. She is slightly, well, not slightly large, no, like, she is happy in her body size. She is not a model, so she has, like, stretch marks, and she's proud of that. Cool, and she knows she's sexy. And she doesn't really appear to be wearing armor of any sort, and She doesn't really seem to be carrying a weapon either, until she reaches into her hair and pulls out, essentially what looks kind of like a hairpin. And she pulls that out and then kind of like shakes it, and that hairpin becomes about a 12-foot long spear. As she just picks off of the ground and vanishes into the tree.
She was a rogue
Dragoon
all
summoner.
along.
Yes, Val is a dragoon. So she will arrive next turn to skewer somebody. Alright, there are three of these flans left. So they are going to attack. Who are they going to attack? They're going to attack. Actually, you know what? Boom, they're going to attack you three. Lilith, Reno, Malcolm. That would make logical sense. Except I need to double check if thing. Don't know if you can. I think it would make sense if you could. Huh? Two. Alright, cool. Who amongst you feels like they would physically be closest to Hans?
Probably me.
Okay, cool. So, these three flans, they're just going to cast Blizzard. It's pretty simple. So all three of you will take. Let me just double check. Blizzard is not that much damage. Good. Up there. Power times 3. The power isn't particularly high, so you would all take 12 damage, except 12 of them. Obviously, you minus your M-arm from that for the damage you take through. Except for Malcolm, because as the Blizzard spell comes to hit you, Hans makes use of his innate Paladin ability, Cover, and as a person close, he chose you because you're the closest, but he takes half the damage for you.
Okay.
So as the
So that's 4 damage for him.
Yeah. Well, let me just read this. If he applies his M-arm or you M-arm.
Oh, okay.
So whether the cover target would suffer damage, Paladin as an instant action, choose to take that damage on the ally's behalf. This means the damage is reduced by the original target's arm and M-arm. Oh no, he takes all of it. He doesn't take half.
Okay.
Is it? Just double checking. What's the line? Suffer damage. Alright, so he takes 8 damage then, because you have 4 M-arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. This blast of ice just comes toward you. Hans just goes, "No! Take me!" And just takes this ice blast in the chest. The other two of you, so Lilith, Reno, you take 12 ice damage. Then obviously you apply your how much you actually take. How are you both looking?
I only took 4 points of damage.
Lilith took 10 damage, but her HP is high, so she's still doing good.
Alright, and it is back to all of you. Reno, do you want to start us off?
Sure. The bomb in my hands manifests the grinning demon face and flies at one of the flan. And it does, let's see, it was 16 plus 2d6.
These are lower than you. So
okay.
It's power times 8.
So 32, 34? 30,
Yep.
wait, 32. 26. Plus 7 is 39.
And
And
you need to roll your d4.
every time I use it,
Oh,
oh, thank goodness.
you. So,
God.
you just destroy this thing. Like you destroy it. You destroy its bloodline. In fact, you destroy it so hard its parents got destroyed. This thing was not only never destroyed, like never created. It was never conceived. It was never believed to ever exist by any being ever. How does that look?
Basically, the bomb flies into the air and comes down, and there's like a massive explosion, and where the flan was is a small crater, and the other flan looking very concerned.
Meanwhile, in another part of the world, there's these two mom and pop flans attacking this poor adventurer, and then suddenly they just disintegrate.
Yeah. Some other plans just disappear off of it. I mean, okay, Final Fantasy X themes are the tortured spirits of people who have passed on. So, but we want to kill Flan parents as well. So that's what happens. In an alternate universe where Flans have parents, they disintegrate and disappear. In all possible universes, this Flan doesn't exist anymore.
This flan got erased from the time-space continuum. That is how powerful Reno is.
Oh god, I just realized because that damage would be doubled as well. So you said 39, so that is
It was 39 with the double.
oh no, because
With the times 8.
But this is fire damage, which it takes time.
Oh, that's right.
So 39 doubled is what? 78.
Just about,
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. So for reference, 78 would have basically one-shot the Kraken. Like the Kraken had like 100 HP, I think.
Hmm.
That is reference of how much damage 78 damage.
Reno's scary.
Lilith, Malcolm, what would you two like to do if either of you want to try anything?
Quick question. If I am using the arcane aspect of my weapon, do they still use their physical armor, or would they use their magic armor at that point?
That is a good question. I believe it's magical, but I can also just double check. Where? Weapon types. There we go. Aha. Arcane. Use mind for damage, not power. Special property. Quick cast isn't. Yeah. Okay. No. It doesn't specify that you use M-arm. So I think it's just you get to use your mind for damage.
Oh, okay. That doesn't help me. So I'll use. I'll just smack him with my new energy whip.
All right. Go for it. Roll a accuracy, please.
11.
11 hits, and that hits good.
Alrighty, so 2, so 18 plus 2d6. Sorry, typing is hard.
And you can just keep that 9. You already rolled.
Nah, that's alright. 21.
Yeah, 21.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how much just upgrading your weapons here increases damage output. Literally exponentially.
Yeah.
So, 21 damage, even taking their quite high armor into account, because of the fire damage these guys took, that is enough to actually to finish it off.
Nice.
So, how does that look?
So, super anime mode, Malcolm pulls out the handle of the whip, and he like raises it up and the energy beam comes out of it and it whips out, and then he snaps it at one of the flans and it kind of wraps around them, and when he pulls it, it just kind of bisects them.
Yeah, so just magical whip energy pulls round, just tightens, and the flange goes and poofs out of existence. Alright, nice. Lilith. Well, what do?
I want to try to do the whip sword thing again.
Go for it. Whip it good.
I'm gonna whip it good. And I'm gonna do it for you.
There you go. 12 will hit. 12 will hit real good. So, what is your damage output?
It would still be power plus 2d6, wouldn't it?
Okay,
Or-
so the way weapons work is you do tier times damage stat plus 2d6. You upgrade it to a tier 2. So you now deal power times 2 plus 2d6.
Okay.
So
So
upgrading a weapon is a big deal.
Okay, so we have... I'm gonna do the 2d6 first,
Mm-hmm.
because that'll be easier. Okay, so that's the 10. So power is 8.
Yep. So you times that by 2. That's 16 plus 10.
16 plus 10, so 26.
26. Very similar to Malcolm. You kill this. You know what? You and Malcolm do this in sync. One with the sword whip and one with the energy whip. You both just wrap around these two remaining flans and just pull, and they both explode at the same time.
I would love for that to happen if Malcolm / Patch is okay with it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Okay, the thing I find hilarious is Val is still in the sky. And the combat's over.
I was
Val
not
is
having a
good.
great time with us.
Or, I guess if you want, we could combine it where, like, the 2 energy whips go off and maybe one of the flans is somehow still hanging on by, like, a sliver of determination. Then Val just appears like, boom!
I kind of like the idea, but Val just... Okay, it's very mean. And I get that, because Val is not a useless character, but the idea that, like, so far, everything she tries just doesn't work. And it'll only start to work when she accepts friendship. That is her story arc now. So,
Okay.
well, I'm sorry, she leapt up on her own. She was like, I've got this. Huh! Like,
Yeah.
well, you could have just worked.
Bye, Val.
So, yeah, the 2
So you
remaining
could
flans,
also-
they go thwumph, and then, you know, like, 30 seconds later, Val lands, and it's a really powerful landing. You know, like, this spear just slams into the ground, it creates a small crater. Val is, like, screaming with, like, a fiery passion coming out of her, like, ah! Lands, and then, you know, looks around and goes, oh.
Oh.
I think I was a little late.
Better late than pregnant.
We've we have now created 2 craters.
Val looks at Malcolm and goes like,
Yeah, I know I'm not wrong.
Can't argue with that. It's true.
okay. So you won. Congratulations. How would you? How long do you spend celebrating before you go? Oh yeah, the mission.
Da 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 da. Copyright.
For like a few seconds, and I don't know, maybe Lilith just breaks this silence of we should just continue on with the mission now.
All right. Yep.
Got a bit of
So
Yep,
with that,
that's good.
exercising.
with that, you start pressing forward. As you push a little bit forward, you get out of where the more dense overgrowth is, the forest, and you find yourself approaching this rope bridge. And this rope bridge is suspended across, well, it's suspended in front of a huge waterfall. if there wasn't like the imminent pressing task to go and deal with, you would probably want to stop and just enjoy the sight. You know, the water spray is coming over. You know what? I can do it. I can do it because I fucking can. The water spray catches in the moonlight and it refracts the light ever so slightly to create essentially a permanent like rainbow that can just be seen over the bridge. A really beautiful sight.
Oh, that's nice.
And you can see this. This goes down. You can, if you look a little bit closer, you can see like there are some ruins built into the side of this waterfall. But I suppose that's a job for when you aren't on the middle of a serious task. You can progress, so you cross over this bridge. Providing nobody does anything stupid, like jumps up and down on the bridge, or like the bridge is.
Are you tempting me?
The bridge is sturdy enough, providing none of you like start shaking it or trying to set it on fire, so you don't need to worry about the bridge like falling apart. But unless you really, really want to go, how much can this bridge handle? You can just keep going. And assuming
I'm chaotic, but I'm not kill the party chaotic.
So, assuming nobody does that, you progress a little bit further. You keep going down this winding path around the mountainside, and you start to feel like it's a little quiet. You'd heard from the locals and you'd heard from the people when you first arrived here. There's usually quite a few fiends hanging out on this path, and it does feel quite quiet as you progress a little bit further. You're still on the mountain path, and you can see the next you can see the descent of it heading down towards the more thick jungle area before the beach. So you're close to where the ruins are, but there is definitely not so much a chill. Yeah, there's quite an intense tension that seems to it is almost as if you can see it. You can see something in the air. Your vision maybe starts to get slightly distorted by just how intense the vibe is as you progress forward. Does anyone want to stop and try and go, hang on a second?
I know that Lilith would totally want to try to stop and be like, hey, what's going on?
Do you want to roll anything?
Would awareness be good, or
Anything you want to roll, so long as it's justified. If you want to try and roll synthesis for this, you're gonna need some real good justification.
I'm gonna try to take the atmosphere and create a weapon with it.
I am gonna roll nature.
Nature. Okay, yeah, go for it.
Whoops, wrong button.
No.
I need a slash, not a question mark.
Hey, 13. 13 comes. I think that's just above. I think that is into territory.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Skills. 11, right? 13. All right, cool. So yeah, you hit challenging. You don't quite hit impressive, but you hit challenging. And what was the guffaw? I'm curious. Okay, birds and such and things. The other. So, if you stop to go, hang on a second, Rena. It might not be inherently natural, but actually, you know what? You will be somewhat familiar with stuff like this. If you've studied nature, if you have an understanding of stuff, in areas of intense heat, so around geysers, volcanoes, things like that, or deserts when it's midday, sometimes the heat can get so intense that it starts to actively create evaporate water, and doing so affects vision of things. It actually slightly distorts that. So there is currently something producing an intense amount of heat in the nearby vicinity. You know that. There is something very hot nearby that it is messing with stuff.
And we just fought Ice Flan.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am very curious as to what this could be because, I mean, it created a fog bank of steam.
Yeah, pretty much. Because there's a giant waterfall nearby, so. Oh my god, if I should have been much smarter. I should have made this combat take place on the bridge at the waterfall. That would have been fucking deep. Why did I not think of that?
Because, like me, you're chaotic, but not kill the party chaotic.
Okay. So do you share this information? Go. There's something hot, guys.
The comment I made about this team, I said out loud as a character.
Okay, cool. Lilith, do you still want to try and roll awareness?
I did. That was the 13.
13. Okay, yeah, cool. That also falls under that challenging. So once again, you know what? You aren't that far away from a bridge because I've said this and now I like that description so much. So I'm gonna stick with it. So you are not on the bridge, but as you're looking, you definitely start to see, like, along with a water spray, there is steam coming out from behind the waterfall. You know, that's not right. That's incredibly not right. As if you look, you're fairly certain you see what can only be described as a big face. Then another big face. Then a third, and a fourth, and a fifth. As 5 giant red faces emerge from out of the waterfall, and as they touch the water, it just erupts in steam coming off of them. As they pull themselves out, and they essentially look like giant floating fireballs with faces. And they
The
start...
player knows what they are.
I mean, yeah, the player knows what this is.
Lilith just looks at the group and sort of gestures to them to stop and just points at the waterfall like, I don't think that is supposed to happen. Don't think giant fireballs with faces are supposed to come in contact with water and make the water evaporate.
You think it would, like, at least douse their hair or something.
Yeah, you'd think that would be a very painful experience for the literal balls of fire.
Can I roll my monster again?
Yes, you most certainly can.
Monster was 3. Okay. Get the right tab open.
With a 13, this is a variation of a bomb or a grenade. These are just living magical energy. They are very volatile. If they get hit a certain number of times without being defeated, they will explode. And there's something slightly off about these, and you just judging from seeing how they interact, and you've probably seen something like it. These definitely seem a lot hotter than the average bomb, so much so that you assume making physical contact with them, or like engaging them physically, will probably cause you damage.
So no punchy to fire.
Yeah, probably don't punch the fireball, or just like hit them in melee. And I mean, you can do it if that's the option. You know, these are clearly, you know, they are very hot.
That's what she said.
Also, I'm
So she
slightly
said
ashamed that no one has exclaimed, "Goodness gracious, great balls of fire."
I was about to go to hot damn. 'Cause I make references, but not ones people expect, and that's why I'm not cool.
Had this discussion. Coolness is a matter of perception. Perspective. And perception. If you look and go, I'm then you are, and that's what matters. So,
Okay.
once again, you have spotted these, so they could not ambush you, so they engage in combat when you so wish. Or you can go, nah, just run away from them. If you so wish to do that, and go, we don't need to fight these. Running away is always an option.
So just to clarify, damage is for a weapon is times its tier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yours would be like power or whatever times 4.
Yeah, because of that ridiculous roll you got.
It's like, it's in and out of character. I'm sort of wondering, like, how to best go about fighting bombs. And I like their actual names, right?
I mean, they have a variety of names. Some are called bombs, some are called grenades, all... there's other ones.
We could send in Tauntaun like a bomb defusal bot.
We just keep throwing Tauntaun at them until they explode. Just go.
I'm just imagining, like, somehow go up the waterfall and we just have Tauntaun dangling down from a string.
I mean, or... what? You just make sure that whoever hits the bomb for the 3rd time, they're stood near Hans, and Hans will take all the damage.
No. Hans is not our damage sponge. Hans is not the I don't know the word.
Well, I mean, I'm not the damage sponge.
I mean,
I know, no one is damage sponge.
he is the paladin. The paladin's entire thing is, I take damage.
That's
I
fair.
will get hit for you.
That's fair.
Because no one... You're a very squishy party.
Yeah. Very squishy.
So,
Aside from
mean-
Lilith, she isn't that squish.
so, do you want to engage with these? Do you want to run away? Do you want to like throw rocks at them until they explode, hopefully from a distance? There are options here.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Wondering if they explode, is it possible for us to possibly sentence great English, but basically like attack them from a high distance where when they explode they don't hit us, or would it be like
if you could get to a medium distance and hit them from a medium distance, sure. I don't think any of you have ranged qualities.
I do.
Oh, except Reno. Yeah. And I guess Val technically has some ranged qualities. The problem is you would all have to be at a medium distance. Have to maintain. So basically, running away and shooting them and throwing stuff at them as you run away, basically, is what I'm here.
So my question is, if I make one of them explode, would that in turn make the others explode?
When they explode, they just use the spell, self-destruct. And I need to double check if that's like an area or if it's a target. If it's an area, you could theoretically make them explode into each other.
So I'm thinking, do either of the summons we have ranged capabilities?
Yeah, because they have magic.
Also, would it cause them to target each other if one of them was blind?
Oh, 100%. You could definitely manipulate them like that.
Okay.
Where is self-destruct? There we go. Okay, target single. So you can't I mean, okay. Instead of blindness, if you had confusion, you could definitely make them target. Like, blindness just means they can't really aim to hit.
Yeah, I don't unfortunately have confusion. My weapon has blindness.
I mean, there is as many options as you can think of here, really. I know, yes, of course, we are limited by actual mechanics and such as well, but whatever option you feel like, ooh, I like that idea, we can do that.
Oh! Hold on, I have an engineer thing that I can do.
What is this engineer thing you?
My base for engineer. Where's my tab? Oh, I moved it. My base for engineer lets me add properties to other people's equipment and to my equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So I can add some properties to our equipment to give us a little more leeway in what we can do.
This most definitely works. Let me.
Wait, doesn't it also add explosive though?
Yes.
So yeah, just don't roll.
I'm gonna pass on my weapon.
just don't roll a crit. That's all you need to do. Just do not roll a crit. Because what is it? The standard action may grant 2 bonus properties to any piece of weapon or armor. One of these is explosive. The second may be any of the following: Alchemist, Auto Flight, Auto Protect, Auto Shell, Element Enhancer, Element Strike, Element Ward, Skill Bonus, Therapeutic, SOS Invisible, Glowing. And with very explicit GM permission on a case-by-case basis, special ability.
So let's see.
I mean, if you wanted to, I would 100% allow special ability if you wanted to either choose a job ability from any of the classes, or design something specific for this situation. I would be very okay with that. So, specific to this situation, that isn't just another weapon property. So it's like you couldn't go, special ability, Confused Strike. Because that's a thing that already exists. So it has to be highly unique and individual.
I mean, do you want to test my creativity?
I'm not here to test it. I'm here to explore and encourage it.
So wait, does it explode on a critical failure or a complication?
Explosive, I think, only explodes on double sixes.
Hmm.
So it's like it explodes a bit too well.
Let me just double check. I don't know how long that lasts for. It doesn't really say. I will double check that. Okay. Okay, so invent my only grant bonuses to one piece of equipment at a time, and the effects have a 25% chance to end at the end of said ally's turn. There we go. Each weapon property other than explosive may only be applied one time per game session.
So I just thought of something.
So, yep, you do that while I'm just double checking explosive as well.
I kind of need to know how explosive works too.
Okay, so when destroyed, in the case of an item thrown, deals users power times item tier plus 2d6 of 5. That's all it says. When destroyed.
Okay.
So actually, that is not even on a crit. That is just if your weapon gets destroyed. Which, yes, there are things out there specifically designed to destroy weapons or to destroy armor. So, for example, like the impact ability. I can't just be it.
I could have sworn there was a thing that was, if you roll a certain thing, it will explode.
Yeah, I thought that as well. So, let me just... Yeah, it literally says, explosive, when destroyed, in the case of consumable item, comma, thrown, deals whichever is more effective in a local area. Now I need to crack open the actual PDF instead of... So, I was fairly certain it happened on double sixes, but I don't think. I mean, my notes don't say it does. So,
And the only thing I can see that's part of the invent is 25% chance to end at the end of said ally's turn.
yeah. And that when it ends, that doesn't mean boom, it explodes. It just means,
Yeah, no, it just means that the enhancement goes away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
let me look at the thing here. The old explosive. Yeah, no, that is generally a detrimental effect applied by the engineer's invent ability. An explosive item that is destroyed in case of a consumable item thrown. Yeah. Yeah. That is it. Doesn't say. Yeah. There's no like it gets destroyed on this, gets destroyed on that. And
So I wanna-
there are rules for breaking a weapon, but I don't remember what they are. Okay. So broken. Yeah. So, like, weapons can break, either from, like, a samurai using some of their abilities, like power break, stuff like that. So there are mechanics for breaking weapons, but I think you really need to mess up for that.
So, the idea I had, I kind of want to cause a chain reaction, or at least between two of them. A special ability that is Arcane Gremlin, where I cause the target to cast one spell in its possession on a target of my choice.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
So the spell that they have is self-destruct,
Oh my god.
My God.
and if I have it target another bomb,
Okay. No, I like this. So, what are you gonna put this on? Are you just gonna
I'm
get, like,
gonna
a rock and throw it at them?
no, I'm gonna put it on my gunblade because what I'm hoping will happen, because self-destruct is dependent, I think, on the amount of damage that you've taken.
So I think the spell, like, as per the spell, if we're going literally by, like, they cast the spell, I think you can just do it whenever the heck you want. However, the way I have got these things noted down in my notes is after a certain number of hits, they will explode. And that's obviously what you know them for.
But I mean, the damage that's dealt is dependent on how much damage they've taken.
I think so. Damage. Let me. Where's magic? Magic. There's so many tabs. Okay, self-destruct. Caster converts their life force into explosive energy, creating a cataclysm blast that rips through the enemy. A number of points of MR fire damage equal to 25% of the caster's maximum HP. That's
Okay, so it doesn't matter how much damage they've taken.
Yeah, you're thinking of Revenge, the one that deals damage equal to the amount of damage you have taken so far.
Okay. Then I don't even need to shoot them.
No.
I mean, you could. For the fun of it, but.
Yeah, for the mental image, I'm gonna put on my gunblade, and I'm going to basically just fish out a bullet from my gear and fuse the special ability into the bullet and load that one bullet.
Now that's smart. That's very smart. Okay, so the mechanic we're going to say this is you make an opposed roll, so either force or finesse, whichever you feel is more justified here, because that's how force and finesse work. It's however you want to justify it. And on success, you force the target to use a spell.
Yeah, I'll use finesse.
Okay, so make an accuracy roll first to try and hit them as you shoot.
Okay, how do you do accuracy rolls again? I'm used to using my magic.
There should just be a stat, accuracy, and it should just be 2d6 plus that.
Okay.
Under avoidance, if you're looking at the spreadsheet. Stop. Why is people stomping around in my house?
12.
12, that hits, but you do not avoid that. So now you make an opposed finesse check. Ooh. Okay, that was really close. Oh, wait, no, I was looking at your 12 from before, not your 12.
No, this is not at all close.
No. So, sadly, you rolled a 6. I rolled a 9 on the dice, 2 of them. So, the effect does not activate. However, the bullet is destroyed and explodes. Downside, the explosion deals fire damage. These are beings made of fire. You just heal them.
It heals them.
So, you can deal the damage from your bullet, and then it will heal for the explosion, which is 2d6.
Okay.
It's power times 1 plus 2d6.
So my gunblade is tier 4,
Yep.
and I get to use my resolve, so that's 36 times 4. No, that is the times 4. That's
Yeah.
36.
Plus 2d6.
Plus 2d6.
And okay. Oh wow. So, but they heal. Uses power times item tier. This is technically a tier 4, so they recover your power times 4 plus 2d6.
So, are they getting temporary hit points then, or is it just like feels?
So are they using my power?
Yes.
So my power is 4.
So they take 36. Did we say
36 plus 6.
36 plus 6? So they're taking 42.
42.
But they are healing 16. So we'll just smash them together first of all. Actually, no, I suppose we should take into account their defense. Their physical defense is garbage because they don't care. They just want to explode. So 42, take into account their physical defense, which is basically nothing. That's 38, so they take 38 damage, which is pretty big. That's a lot of damage. Another hit like that and they die until they heal for 16. So they go, ah! And they go, ooh, but I feel a bit better now.
See, the downside, though, is that I can't do that again.
Yes, you cannot, sadly.
But I'm going to save that special ability because that was very useful.
Yeah, if you want to make notes of that special ability somewhere. Okay. Now, obviously, we can continue this combat. The rest of you, we want to fight these things. Or running away is an option. There is a mechanic and a stat for running away. You can just run away if you don't want to fight these things. If you are more fussed about getting on, if you don't want to fight, if you don't want to risk being self-destructed onto, you do not need to fight every enemy you come across.
You are stressing that we should run a lot.
Well, I'm not stressing it. I'm just saying, like, if you don't want to fight, 'cause you just did one combat. I don't know if you want to go combat. Let's just crack on. We tried a thing. It didn't work. Let's just get on with the plot.
I mean, we could test out the new summon we got because they know Blizzard apparently. But also that would be dependent on if everyone else is just deciding, nah, let's just leave.
We may want to wait to use our summon until we're fighting something bigger and badder.
Is there something bigger that's fire ahead of us?
Yeah, that is also a good point. And plus, it doesn't seem like the bombs are really doing anything aside from
Wanting
making
to
a
explode.
shower.
They're floating menacingly, waiting for you to decide if you're engaging in combat or not.
They're floating menacingly after I just shot one.
And that one grew bigger. So that one's extra menacing because it's bigger.
Okay, maybe if we come back, they're hanging out in water. Maybe if we come back, they'll be dead. Maybe the water will somehow. Maybe they're slowly dying. We have no idea.
So, in the essence of me always saying make room for the boom, I think we should make room and go that way.
Yeah, I'm on board with that.
People say that there is no honor in running away, but they are liars. It's actually a very viable strategy to run away, is what my fighting instructor first taught me. And then one dude was like, "Oh yeah, well, I don't believe you," and then they died.
Yeah, I mean, there may be more honor in not running away, but at least I'm alive.
You're not like
Okay.
heaven.
All right. As you're all like, all right, we're gonna run away. I think it's escape. The skill you roll for that. You can do that to try and like just disengage and not interact with these people. Yes, escape is the skill you would need to roll for that.
Oh god, what?
I do not have that skill.
I also do not have that skill.
Has no one
No, I do.
any rank?
No,
in
I do. I
escape?
have. I did put a rank in escape, actually.
You know, the thing the book says,
will-
you should probably put a rank in escape somewhere. Just one.
Oh,
I mean,
Does it
you
really?
can just roll a flat 2d6 if you don't have anything in it.
there really
I got
is
a 9.
of skill in escape.
I do got a 9. Oh wow.
3 9s. That's actually really good. I mean, I think 9 comes under like moderate. These skill ranks will sink into my brain eventually. Okay, 9 is moderate. Yeah. This I would call this a moderate encounter. So you lot run away. Let's roll for Raiko, who does have ranks in escape. Who rolled an 8 on the die and has a +2 to that. So Raiko got a 10. Raiko's slightly better than you at escaping. Hans surprisingly does not have ranks in escape. So Hans got a 7. So Hans is not good at escaping. And Val kind of looks at you all and goes, okay, this time I actually have. And she firmly plants her feet. She plants her feet and takes in a deep breath. So she just. And as the 5 bombs start menacingly floating closer, she throws her hand down and exhales what is essentially she breathes lightning, and that hits all targets in a close area. And what it then allows her to do is she gets to make an opposed roll, and if she succeeds, she can seal them, stopping them from being able to cast magic. That is an 11 on the die now. So, you know what, I am just going to quickly roll this here a couple of times for them. So, not a success, not a success, not a success, not a success, not a success. All 5 of them are sealed and cannot use magic. They cannot
Is
explode.
that the is that the electrocute spell?
It's the Dragoon ability, Deep Breathing.
Ah.
So, I mean, after that, she's done that, and then she's going to roll to escape. So basically, these things can't explode anymore, and she's then gonna book it. So even if they did chase after you, which the only person they could maybe catch is Hans, and Val. She rolled a terrible escape roll there. But they can't explode, so all they can really do is kind of slap people very weakly. So if you want to, I mean, we can. Ooh, ATB has did briefly, but I was gonna say is like as you are making an escape, we can kind of roleplay that you just keep taking pot shots at them, and eventually they'll just because their physical attack is god awful. Their whole thing is I explode, and sometimes cast fire.
We took away the only thing they live for.
Yeah, so like for 4 turns, we're really just speeding up along, because yes, you could now engage in combat, and for 4 turns, they can't use any spells, so we can just roleplay it out. So I like the idea of just running away and occasionally like just throwing pot shots at them, and do that. And with that, do we want to take like a quick 5-minute break before we progress any further?
Sure.
Yeah.
And we'll explain what happened to ATB, who saw that because of internet conditions. So we'll do that.
I feel like none of you even noticed that I left.
No, we did.
No, we did.
We noticed.
Oh, okay.
But it's fine because they're basically Val ended the encounter by using an ability that sealed their magic, and these things can't physically attack very well. So then, for 4 turns, all they can do is very weakly slap, which does like nothing. Their power is like 2, so they would be doing 2 damage per turn, if they hit you, and if
I have a mental image of them getting bigger and bigger and bigger as we pot shot them and getting very frustrated, and we finally get away. We hear at the distance very loud explosions as the ability wears off.
Yeah. So it's very much a role play. Run away and take pot shots, and they drop. And with that, we can kind of move on and I think taking a quick 5-minute break. Good. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that sometimes when my internet just goes out, Discord still says that I'm online and in voice chats, even though I'm not. So I had no idea if like you thought I just went super quiet, and in actuality, I was just in darkness for a while.
Honestly, I didn't. I mean, we saw when you disconnected, but obviously. Anywho.
Oh, I was disconnected for like a couple of minutes, like. Oh no! Like you were about to have like you mentioned like Val exhaling, and then like the internet just out.
Okay, so Val used an electric breath attack, but like fire. She basically fired her laser, and and doing so made it so none of the bombs could use magical turns.
Val fired her laser, so it is Valor.
And with that, we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break. So we will see you. We'll see you real soon. So stay tuned. We have returned. We Val finally did something useful and succeeded at something, which I feel so bad for her about. It's taken her this long to succeed at something, and you essentially cheesed an entire encounter, allowing you to progress on. You moving on from the mountain path, get into the very thick, deep jungle overgrowth, and you see the opening. Well, you see like these ruins. I mentioned these before when you first came here, that there's these weird, anachronistic, like cybernetic, advanced-looking ruins like embedded into the side of the rocks, and with like a tree growing over them. There is ice frozen up one side of them, and some very clear, obvious scorch marks on the other. There appears to be, okay, your characters won't get the reference, but that there's like a Star Trek-esque door that is like sealed shut, where you assume the entrance would.
Hmm.
There is also a like computer terminal type. There's like a small terminal with a little screen and a little keypad nearby, attached to all of this.
Hmm. Are we able to like get to the keypad, or is it like a thing that we can walk up to?
Yeah, you can walk up to it and you can press buttons.
We,
You know,
we
you,
gave Tauntaun that property that busts through things, right?
you did also give TomTom the impact property, so you have two choices here. You can be tactful and, you know, make use of the systems check as an option. Someone can hack into the system and be like, alright, I've got it, I know what's going on. Or you can present the door with a stuffed tauntaun that just makes the door go boom.
See, what I was thinking of was trying to type in the code stuff from earlier of 5792 kilocup besaid R1. I was thinking of typing that into the terminal.
I mean,
But also throwing Tauntaun at the door would be also good.
are you investigating the terminal at all, or are you just going, no, tauntaun? I can't believe we didn't. I did not plan this at all. I planned the door. I planned the system. I didn't plan for getting the impact thing. They just went, oh yeah, we can do that.
We can do both. We can investigate it, and if it doesn't work, we can just Tauntaun open.
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Lilith, I assume you're going and looking at the system because you have ranks and systems on everybody else.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it would just be a. Now these 20 got to reload.
Yeah. Okay.
This is
So
what happens when internet goes out.
whilst you are looking at this thing, it seems to be asking for a password, and it seems to be 8 or 10. Wrote this shit down. Yeah, it seems to be asking for an 8-digit password.
Mm.
And the keypad seems to have it seems to be a number keypad. It's not like a keyboard. It's literally just a basic 3x4 grid with numbers 1 to 9, and then like a pad, a backspace, a 0, and an enter key.
Okay. So I was just going to roll systems.
Yeah.
Or like just look at it. So okay.
Okay. So because you investigated the code, and I assume you're going to connect. You assume that the 5792 is part of the code, so you can roll this with 3d6 to take. No, you just roll with 3d6. Yeah, you don't. It's not advantage. You don't drop the lowest. You just keep all 3.
Okay. No.
Do you not have a rank in systems?
Oh, I forgot the +2. So it would be a 10.
Okay, 10 is moderate.
That you just meant just roll a 3d6.
Yeah, no, it's still rolling systems. Okay,
Mhm.
so for a moderate, this is it's not like a super advanced system. It's literally just an 8-digit password, but it's also not easy because 8 digits. There's what? It's 10 to the power 8, so that is 100 million different combinations. I mean, you have half of them, but even then, that still leaves 10 to the power 4 possible combinations to put in, which is not easy to just guess. So I don't think a moderate would be good enough for.
Tauntaun it is.
Yeah, I feel like because I don't want to try to test it, because my first thought was try to just type in 5792 twice. But also I don't want to risk booby traps. So I feel like Lilliput might just look at this, look back at the group, look at the terminal, look back at the group, and then point at Tauntaun, and then point at the door.
Yep. So Raiko is holding Tauntaun and goes, okay. Tauntaun. And with that, before Raiko even decides, Tauntaun lifts up a little gun and just door. It doesn't like just open. The door it like splits in two and flies off deep into the whatever's inside. Like you hear two fairly distant clanging, clattering sounds of metal. As you can now see inside these ruins. It appears to be a cavern of sorts. At least from the initial outlook, you would have to go inside to further.
Oh, the door's open.
Do we have sources of light?
Do you have sources of light?
I mean, technically, I can make one.
I don't think Lilith has any way to make light. All she can do is bring darkness down onto those. Fortunate.
Please tell me Lilith says that in character.
Yes. All I can do is bring darkness.
I mean, I don't think this is really the time to be cheerful.
Oh god, I don't. How to make that cheerful? I bring darkness when people look at the light and they don't want light anymore. They want to, Wolf just sort of stands there and tries to think of how to turn her edgy one-liner into a positive thing.
Meanwhile, I'm going to hold up my chocobo whistle and give it new properties.
Okay. So your chocobo whistle is now explosive and
glowing.
Yeah, and it's a good thing we're reading these properties beforehand because you can control how much light comes off of that. So do you want like a small torch? Do you want like how much light do you want to come off of this?
I'll get like a couple of torches worth, enough to give us good visual all around, but not enough that we're going to attract everything in the cavern because we're all blinded.
Okay, so you create a decent if this was D&D type thing, I would say what 6, but distances don't matter. So you create a reasonable amount of light. You can get a good look at the cavern walls. Like this place is like you can see roots and sprouts coming outside of the cavern walls. It's actually like the trees have physically grown around this place. And if you progress a little bit further in, you see that the cavern very quickly goes from being a natural like stone and dirt and earth cavern to having like crafted and carved stone and metallic walls. And maybe a couple dozen meters in, you find a fork in the road. You know what? This is also where the two doors have ended up. The two halves of the doors. One has flown off to one side, one has flown off to the other, and it's fairly obvious. There's no subtlety in this game. One of these paths, you can feel a cold chill coming from it. And you can see like ice forming on the walls and like having frozen over some of the stuff. On the other, an intense heat. In fact, you can see small fires, like occasionally bursting out of the wall and floors. So you've got two paths.
The clear answer is we should split up.
Hans looks and goes, "Yes! We shall form two impenetrable parties of three. Who goes with who?
You're with me, Hans.
Yes."
Just don't talk.
He gives a thumbs up. And you can tell he really wants to say yes, but he doesn't.
We're gonna have fun.
Okay, so
That's a terrible idea.
Yeah, Lilith just stays near Raiko. Just her answer is obvious. Wherever Raiko's going, she's going.
Okay, so Reno, you're really the deciding factor here. Do you go with Lilith and Raiko, or do you go with Hans and Malcolm?
By the way, my audio has been cutting out. Malcolm did say, no, that's a terrible idea. Just kidding. We shouldn't actually split up.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was my plan. Okay, so we're not splitting up then.
And whatever, I'm not a cop.
Hans looks and goes, "Good. That bastards."
Raiko and Val, was that temple the only temple on this island?
Val looks and goes, "Yeah." I've not read anything about a temple. I mean, we found that one in the ocean. Maybe a secret temple? Maybe? Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't think so. But maybe. Probably not.
Okay.
But maybe.
Well, my natural inclination is to go towards the things that go boom.
So, I feel like we have more options fighting the more frozen enemies rather than the ones that go boom, as you said. And again, we do have one summoned as literally a giant whale. I'm assuming there could be a potential that, Bismarck might be able to go create water and just around bombs. I'm assuming that there's bombs down there. There's something adjacent to it.
This is one of my favorite things to do in tabletop role-playing games. Present a pretty simple choice, left or right, and watch the entire session come to a grinding halt as we generally go,
You never give me simple choices, Bardic, because I just overthink all of them.
So what we can do? I have a 1d2.
Mm-hmm.
You mean a
We
coin?
can. Technically, yes, but it's a Kraken dice that is literally a 1d2.
It's amazing.
So, on the left path, which I think is ice, right is.
Okay, so 1 is left, 2 is right.
Yeah.
That's a 1.
Okay, I thought you were about to say it landed on its side.
I've had to do that before, though.
I see. The answer is we go through the wall.
I mean, eventually we'll hit something. Tauntaun, go at it.
Just go to victory, Tauntaun.
You don't pick the easy route.
Okay, so left was the ice-covered path.
I don't know why I imagined the left was ice, but yeah.
Because I said ice first, and from the Western world where we always go left to right. So whenever something is said first and then presented left and right, you assume the first thing is.
I'm gonna look down the left-hand path and go, I'll be honest, this looks rather sinister.
Yeah, it's a bit cold. The right-hand path has fire occasionally spouting out of the wall, floors, and ceiling.
I'm
This
just gonna
cold
see who
one
gets.
looks sinister.
I'm just gonna see who gets the joke about sinister.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it took me a second.
There's a reason I say I was born sinister.
Oh my god. Also, it might just be me on Twitch, but it seems like the chat has completely died.
Oh no,
Just-
it has completely died.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I
that's
thought
normal.
like that comment was just what ended the chat.
A lot of tabletop role-playing games, you know, it's quite normal for the chat to get fairly inactive. Like, that's fair. That's
Okay.
we're playing this for us, not for.
Sorry.
Do not.
No, I thought it
fret
would have
about
been
it.
funny that that joke. All of a sudden, everybody just goes quiet.
Okay, so
Ignore.
ice path seems the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I need to check. In order to progress, or something. Thing to roll is uh, wow. Okay, no, it is that basic. Alright, cool. As you start to progress down the ice-covered path, can you all roll me athletics to try and maintain your balance and make like not slip and fall and like start sliding down, because these paths are heading down. They seem to be like heading down in like deeper into things. You assumably do not want to fall and slip.
I got an 11.
You have
I
an
got
11.
a 6.
Huh? And I need to roll for these. Okay, so that is a 6 for Raiko, a 7, actually no, plus 3, so that is a 9 for Hans, and 10 for Val. Raiko and Lilith are the ones who do not succeed. Everybody else, you hold your footing. You might slip a little bit, but Raiko and Lilith, you slip, and you both start just sliding down. So you have slipped, and you will both take. You will both take. 10. Just 10 non-elemental. Actually, no, hang on. No, I lied. This is technically 4 damage. So 4 damage, you take like 1/4 of your health.
Oh.
Is that? I mean, I think 4 is meant to be half, but I'm gonna call it a
Okay,
solid
hold
4.
on. If this is fall damage, is there any way I can dive and try and catch Raiko?
If you want to roll, I mean, we just rolled athletics. I mean, we could roll it again, or if there's another thing you want to roll instead.
Well, the reason I ask is because I've got the ability Defy Gravity, where I don't take any fall damage. No matter what the height is.
Yeah.
Okay.
What
So,
would you like to try and roll? I mean, You can just roll athletics again, or if there's something else you would prefer to roll that you think is better, or more interesting, or more fun, or more beneficial.
Can I roll? No, that wouldn't make any sense. Never mind. No, athletics probably makes the most sense.
Okay, yeah. And what was the thing you thought didn't make sense? Synthesis.
I was gonna try and like roll an attack roll to try and grab him with my whip.
I mean that could technically work, or you could use like force or finesse or anything like that to try and counteract this.
No, athletics makes the most sense because it's my best stat out of all those.
Yeah, okay, roll me another athletics then.
16.
16 is super freaking good.
Woo!
So let's actually just.
I mean, with a 16, can I catch both of them?
16 comes under impressive. It's one below heroic, which. Okay, so the description of heroic is pilot an airship through a hurricane with both engines offline. And 14 being the impressive is slipping out of a pair of manacles. I think with a 16, that is good enough. You'll catch both of them. But, like, you'll catch them. You won't stop them from going down, but you'll be able to stop them from taking the damage. They still will have slipped and fallen and be at the bottom, and you will also be there, but nobody takes any damage.
That works for me.
Right, nice. So, that leaves Reno, Val, and Hans up at the top, a medium distance away. So it'll take a full round of combat for them to catch up. But you have landed, and as you land, there is this. There's like a small gust of wind that leaves this horrible freeze in the air. And in fact, as it does so, you're fairly certain you see icicles forming from the ceiling, and like a couple will even drop. As you don't really need to roll awareness for it, because it is literally right there in front of you. As this quite large looking creature that seems to have the head of a lion, and then it's got the head of a lion, the head of a goat, and the head of like a dragon-esque reptilian creature, and a large, curled, round scorpion tail is stood at the bottom of this where you have landed, and it is breathing. As it breathes, you can see like small hailstones form in the air. It is standing there prowling. It glares at you as you have fallen into its lair.
I forget what that is called, but I know what that is.
Chimera?
Yeah.
Yeah, chimera. Oh, I forgot the word for chimera. Kept thinking, like, wait, is it chimera? No, there's another name. But yeah, it is a chimera.
So, this is not technically an ambush, because it didn't surprise you, you just fell into its lair. So you will get to move first. It wasn't there going, ooh, I'm gonna get you. Ha 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 ha. So it doesn't get to attack first, but it's not great. Your friends are at a medium distance. So it's just the three of you against this thing. How would you like to begin this combat?
Okay, first of all, did we heal from the last and first?
After every combat, you get to heal up to full health because of Raiko's ability. But that doesn't restore MP. So MP you have spent, that is gone. But your health is back.
Okay.
I'm going to start the combat by beginning to cast Ruse.
Okay.
Ruse?
Yeah, it's a new white mage spell that I just got that adds 2 to my avoidance.
Oh. Nice.
Lilith, what would you like to do?
god, I need to refresh myself on what certain things do, because I know I got Night Sword, but I forget what Lucky and Zombie Touch do.
Zombie touch means that when you attack, you can choose to deal half damage and roll a force or finesse check, and if you succeed, you inflict them with the zombie status, which means that they take damage. Lucky, I believe, off the top of my head, increases your crit chance. Where is it? University, property, lucky. Increase your critical range by 1. So, with your ranged weapon, that means you would crit on a 10.
Shit, okay, so I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to activate Night Sword
Mm-hmm.
and try to hit it with like a ranged attack. So it says that it gains HP drain, Lucky, and Zombie Touch, so I'm assuming I get all three of those, or I got stuff written down wrong.
Let me. This is using one of your Dark Knight abilities thing. What did you say? Night Sword. Oh, you gain all of them. So instant combat, instant action, once per combat. Next attack gains HP drain, Lucky, and Zombie Touch, and you can attack from a long range. Okay, so you get all 3 of those things. Let's just double check. So status touch. So you can attempt to add the specified thing. Deal 50% damage. Yep. So that, I'm going to take a force check. HP drain does exactly what it says on the tin. You recover half of the damage you hit them with. You're on full health, so it doesn't matter.
So that part doesn't matter.
Yeah, and Lucky increases your crit range. And if you're using a reach weapon, your crit range is... Well, you're always using both at the same. So your crit range... If you roll a 10 on the die, that's a crit.
Okay.
So roll
on a moment.
accuracy.
Also, family is calling out to me, so hold on.
Okay. Well, whilst A2B has to go and deal with that, let's figure out what Raiko is going to do. Because I think Raiko is going to try and cast this. Looking at this. I actually think Raiko is going to wait because Raiko will be able to help out more if the zombie touch affects them. So in that case, Reno.
So
medium distance away.
I have a question. Because my weapon's tier 4, are we just assuming it's a tier 4 Gemini?
Yeah.
Okay. So Reno takes out her gunblade and raises it, but the blade turns and drops to give the barrel free range, and she basically sets the blade into the ground like it's a support. And she'll push out the cylinder, take out another bullet, and use her innate ability to give this fire property.
Mm-hmm.
Fire strike. She'll load that one in. Which that's a standard action.
Yep.
So I'm guessing that's all I can do.
No, that's a standard action, and then firing the attack will be a standard action. Don't move.
Okay.
You get 2 standard actions per turn.
Okay, then I will shoot.
All right. Roll accuracy. Crit! Oh, wow. Okay, that's good.
What happened? Sorry.
Whilst you're away, Reno made one of her bullets have the fire strike ability along with explosive,
Oh.
and then rolled a crit. So, oh gosh, what's the rule for a crit? We
The
haven't had
degree
one
of
yet.
bad that's about to happen.
Yeah. Where would the rule for crits be? I think that would come under general, maybe. 'Cause we haven't had a crit, and I forget how they work. Combat, the skills, descriptive. Where is the friggin' rules for critical hit? Ah! Oh, okay. There is something. Actually, you know what? Reno.
Mhm.
This could actually. I mean, I'm throwing something on you very, like, impromptu. But there is something that can activate on a crit. You technically don't have one yet. But would you like to develop a limit break?
Sure.
Because limit breaks activate on a crit. So
Well, let's take a look at that.
Yeah. So while you're having a quick look at that, we can jump back to Lilith, who is going to make her attack. So, Lilith, can you roll accuracy, please?
Mm-hmm.
6. Okay. What is the avoidance on the boy? I think he might have a terrible avoidance.
Please tell me it's not 7. And if it is, lie to me. Say it's 8.
Okay. You do not hit.
Oh.
However, if you have a point of destiny that you are happy to spend, you could increase your dice pool.
Okay.
Like,
So
if you-
can try to.
Yeah, so you could spend a point of destiny because obviously you're using a special thing, and I assume you do not want the special thing to fail.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so if you have a point of destiny, you can spend that to roll an additional d6.
Okay. So just 1d6?
Yep.
Okay.
That gets you enough. That takes you from a 6 to an 11.
Nice.
So you will hit. So your damage is still, power times 2 plus 2, 6. And words and things and stuff. And then that gets halved. If that gets halved, and you can try and inflict this thing with zombie.
Okay, so 16 plus 7.
So
that's
23. So half of that will be 12.
Okay. So
And-
yeah, I'm gonna have that to try to get it to be inflicted with zombie touch.
Okay, so
Inflicted
for
with
that,
zombie.
we do an opposed roll. Are you using force or finesse?
I am going to just use force because both of force and finesse are at 3 anyway.
I think as... Okay, no, it's other things you get to use at Force. That's it. I think Dark Knights get a lot of bonuses to like Force, but I don't know if you have any.
I don't think I got that yet.
Okay, so roll me Force, please.
So what would that be? Just 2d6 plus what forces?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. 8. Okay. You have lucked out because I rolled a 7. So, with that, you strike. However, how does this strike hit?
I'm going to say, like, the strike ends up going across its chest, and for a moment, the beast probably like laughs a bit. It then suddenly just starts to feel very, like, like just very black, as the zombie effect just starts to take hold of it, and like basically it starts getting like the I imagine like starts just looking very not lifelike. It starts to look like it's kind of like sort of like a undead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as that happens, the coloration on it, it's got like a bluey, whitey, icy tint to it that starts to like twist and go greenish, and is clearly like decaying. As it goes.
Gross.
It is very gross. Reno, how's your
I'm still looking at.
It is a lot of design stuff. That's fine. You can take your time on it. We'll do other people's. So, seeing this, Riker goes, "Oh, there's a zombie. I know how to do that. Tauntaun, do the thing." And Tauntaun kind of like shakes its hands. So, Raiko can instantly cast Cure on the zombie, which is gonna deal damage. So Cure would normally heal a decent amount. So what would it normally heal? It would normally heal. Wait. Actually, what would do more? Okay, no. Your 9 times 2 here is power times 2. It's gonna cast Cure. And because it's a zombie, it takes damage for that. So 9 times 2 plus 2d6. It's gonna deal a good amount. So mind times 2 takes it up to 16 plus the 10. So that is going to deal 26 damage to the zombie chimera. It just kind of like stumbles back and is very like, that really hurt. I don't know why the zombie chimera sounds like that, but it sounds like. Meanwhile, Val just jumps. Don't ask how Val jumps, but the way the Dragoon works is they can literally jump from any distance. So they can literally leap miles. They can leap long distances. So Val will arrive next turn to deal damage. And Hans is going to. I mean, it's over difficult terrain, so Hans can't like just sprint down. I mean, he could, but he might slip and fall and take fall damage. So I think Hans is going to be somewhat careful and just carefully cross. Well, he can't go the full thing; he can only go half. So Hans is closing him a distance, and he will get there next turn to help out.
God, there's so much here.
There really is a lot of stuff in Limit.
It's also so easy to make a limit break that is just OP.
I mean, that is kind of that point.
I know, but like, I know that when you asked for us to look over limit break stuff, I ended up making up like one that I thought was very broken and one that I thought was sensible, but then I looked back and I was like, oh, this is also broken.
I mean, that is kind of a point of limit breaks. You know, like They trigger very, very rarely, unless you just like burn Destiny to make them trigger when you want. In fact, I think the crit here wouldn't normally have activated the limit break, but I'm like, nah, because you are basically about to get limit breaks in the next level. I'm taking the opportunity to be like, okay, no, here, do it.
Yeah. So basically what I'm saying, Rain, is make the most broken thing imaginable.
Well, I was thinking of doing that, but I want to actually wait till I get my second limit break. I want to keep the first one simple. If they're element to try. Okay. So I'll add. There. Brings me to 4.
I love when I can just hear the maths going on in the background.
I mean, you know that math is going on in my head because I just go, I hate math.
Oh, this is going to be so evil, even with its simplicity.
Right?
Yeah, So what are the basic things you've been looking at so far for it?
So it's going to be a weapon attack.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tier 1, so it's +2 to my modifier. It's to my my blade deals resolve times a number.
Yeah, times
I add
4.
I add +2 to that, so it's going to be +6.
Mm-hmm.
It'll deal fire damage.
Mm-hmm.
And it's multi-attack, so I do it twice.
That's really good. And oh my god.
And I'm going to call it Boom Cannon.
And your thing explodes, so that's dealing another power times 4 as well. Limit breaks are friggin' amazing.
Okay, so it gets worse than that. Because am I dealing my weapon stuff on top of the limit break?
I think no. Wait, let me double check. I think this basically replaces your regular attack.
Okay, so the blindness that I have on my thing won't actually come into effect.
I think it does technically.
So basically, I'm going to be dealing all this damage. I'm going to cut that in half.
Mm-hmm.
To then also apply blindness on top of that, assuming I hit.
Well, you hit. Limit breaks are automatic hits.
Yeah, but to do the second one, I have to make another weapon attack, I believe. Multi-attack requires an attack roll. It must be. Oh no, the limit break requires an attack roll.
I mean, you activated yours on a double 6. So I think that just says, no, you got it. Yeah, so crit roll and 2 6s, you can activate limit break. Yeah, so you have major attack roll, and you got double 6s.
So I'm dealing basically double the damage at base.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm basically dealing full damage plus the blindness.
And then add on top the multiplier, so each attack is actually being multiplied by 1.5 because this thing has a weakness to fire. So
Okay.
So let's figure this out. So you're doing resolve times 6.
Yes. So that's 60 minus 6 is 54.
Yep. So 54. Then that's actually hitting. Okay, so wait. So we do 54 times that by 1.5, which is. Okay, so.
Your dog's
22 on top?
Yeah, I think it would be. Wait, hang on. What do we say? 54 times 1.5 That's 81.
Okay.
And you're doing that twice, so that's 162. But you're halving it, so it's 81 damage. Plus power times 4 for the explosive property. So what's your power?
4.
So plus 16. So that's 97. I mean, I know these are technically all separate hits because it factors in its whole armor thing, but you know we'll figure that. We'll just get the grand total, and then I'll do the other maths.
And then is it 46 on top of that for my weapon? Because it's res times 6 plus 2d6. I believe.
There isn't the weapon. The resolve is the attack.
No, I mean when it's. Oh wait, no, you're right. Sorry, you're right.
Yeah. So it's going to be 97 plus 2d6.
Okay.
So big.
So.
Did you roll 2 6s again?
No, I rolled 2 4s.
2 4.
Oh.
So there's that, and then the blindness.
Are you rolling force or finesse?
Let me read the thing real quick. 50% damage. Post finesse. So let's do force.
Okay. Oh wow.
Okay. Wait, am I in the right place? I'm not in the right place. That is the Twitch. 6.
Okay.
13.
So I rolled a 3. So this thing.
How do I do this every game?
This thing is blinded. It is a zombie. It has been. You know what? This thing's destroyed. So, Rain, take full narrative control over the first limit break being activated. How does this look? What ridiculous, over-the-top cinematic happens?
I'll go a little soul leader with it. The blade will come down and she'll get herself ready. She'll slip the bullet in, and then she'll hear like a clock strike behind her, and her entire body will become engulfed in flame, and that flame will curve down around the gun, forming an even bigger gun. When she fires it, it just spits a beam of fire right at it.
So good.
Damn. Damn. Also reminds me of Hexagraph from Hades when it has a certain aspect to it.
Okay.
But also I'm not going to go on a spiel of Hades right now.
So, beam of fire just goes. Chimera, like zombified Chimera. It is bisected. It is just split in two. And you know what? Val should jump every time, because every time Val jumps, the enemies die instantly. Okay.
We know that when Val jumps, we are instantly gonna win.
So, I mean, this was technically a notorious enemy, so you get 1 destiny for defeating it. That was a bit easy. But, you know, limit breaks. This is what they be like, right? So.
Does Reno get a destiny point? Or
Everyone gets a
Yes.
destiny point.
Oh, okay.
Because you defeated a notorious enemy. Alright.
Okay.
As you know what? You just shot a beam of fire into an ice-covered cavern. You know what? You have actually melted all the ice currently in this cavern, so you can progress without slipping, at least for now. However, as the as the smoke clears, or as everything calms down, you've done your little celebration. You find when you look down at where the chimera was or is, you see that like a long serpentine tail, with like an icy blue covering, has like slithered out, and it has grabbed the chimera, and the serpentine tail seems to ignite on fire as it drags the chimera's body deeper into the cavern. You just pissed off the big boss. So I think with that we will have just enough time for people to make closing statements for the session. Who has anything to say for that?
It's the circle of life.
The hell just happened?
It's fine. It's fine. It's just going to eat the chimera. Circle of life.
Just some good old-fashioned monster cannibalism.
Cannibalism. It's a
It
chimera.
was this thing that's hot dragging away the cold chimera. It wants ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Circle of life.
Ugh,
What just happened?
I don't know.
You give us nice things and we break your things.
Look, I really enjoy this type of gameplay. Anything that lets my players feel like incredibly overpowered, that makes them feel competent, that lets you have moments of like, no, I am successful. I am like, it's 2020. We need this in life. So I'm always happy to do these because I might act distressed, but it just means I get to have fun. So I'm very happy that this happened. All right. I should sign off. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I've been the Bardic Knock. You can find me on the internet, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, and the Bardic Knock. More stuff like this. This will be edited, and I'll try to get it uploaded Tuesday. So in a couple of days from here, it'll be up on YouTube as a fun little archive. Various content I do. Whole bunch of it. Whole bunch of it. There we go. That's how you say it.
Yeah.
So there's this, there's One Piece tabletop role-playing game, there's a Digimon tabletop role-playing game, and then there is Final Fantasy video game I play every Thursday, and Saturday and Sunday mornings it's Pokemon content. It's all... I enjoy it. If you can call that good, then it's good. That's that. Also, little shout out. Hey, do you like Pokemans? If you like Pokemans, consider joining the Bardic Knox Discord, because there is it's a pretty casual, there is a Pokemon League where myself and prevalent members of my community are leaders, and you can challenge them, you can duke it out, you can battle them, and my plan is, when a bunch of people collect all the badges, we have special badge emotes, really cool. My good buddy Strider designed them, they're cool. And the vague plan of action is some point in the future, when enough people, there'll be some kind of tournament where winner will they'll get a whole bunch of stuff. They'll get shiny Pokemon, they'll get in-game items for Pokemon, and I'm probably thinking of giving like $15, $20 to the winner. Hey, why not? Who doesn't want $15 or $20? So check that out. Players, would you like to sign off and tell us some wonderful things that you are doing?
I'm not really doing any wonderful things this week aside from. Oh wait, Digimon is every week, so technically I am doing that this week.
There you go.
I was just thinking, like, do I even have anything going on this week? I do. But yeah, hi, I'm Untitled Chapter. I talk bad about myself a lot, but then people call me out on it, and I'm slowly improving. I want to improve on it, so I can talk good about myself. too much. I don't want to give myself that much infinigo. I am one of the gym leaders for Bardic's Discord, so if you want to come and kick my ass, you can go there. Every Wednesday we got Digimon, so I'll be back here playing as Rukia Nakamura with her newly digivolved partner Singlepmon. Thursday, I won't be there, but we're planning on having a makeup session for Curse of Strahd because we couldn't do it last week on Undead K's channel. It's very good. I won't be there though because of life stuff. I don't know, hopefully things will be okay. I don't really want to talk about much, but yeah. And then back here, back here every second Sunday. I think that's it.
Alrighty. Natch, who are you and what wonderful things are you doing?
I'm Natural One. I played Malcolm. I'm doing a charity stream starting. Mine's on the 28th, but the whole thing starts on the 27th. It's going to be 3 days of RPGs for Fuck Cancer Roll Dice. It's at twitch.tv/FCRD2020. So check that out.
And then finally, Rain, who are you? What wonderful stuff are you doing?
I'm Brain Hayes. When I'm not causing mayhem here, I have products on Dungeon Masters Guild, including one that's about to come out about the Grung.
Oh.
I also play on Shay Foxy's channel every Tuesday for the Oralite Codex Calgary, where I play a very unusual werewolf. And I just remembered this. We're shooting for once a month on Shay Foxy's channel on a Monday. We're going to play The Excellence, which is a game about magical princesses, which we have had one session of, and my old friend Sebastian the Demon Toad made another appearance, and I dropped the sick beats.
I want to know who Sebastian the Demon Toad is now.
He's special.
I love him already.
Alright. With that, thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in, being a part of it. And as always, stay safe and happy adventures. Bye-bye.
Bye.